Durian fruit. How to open and deal with the smell. Disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not encouraging any person or persons to consume any food or other substances. I assume no responsibility for any action or actions taken by any person or persons. Do not try this at home. This is the infamous durian fruit, the fruit that smells terrible but tastes incredible. Some people out there are calling this the Limburger fruit because of the smell. Now, I have seen this fruit in other videos out there, but I want to make my own video to share some insight that I've gained over the years. Normally, durians are about the size of a soccer ball. This one is a little smaller. You can tell by the ruler here. You can usually get a smaller durian like this in an Asian market for about $16. Now, they have these kind of thorny spikes on them, so I like to use a protected glove like the butchers usually wear with a latex coating on it to protect your hand while you're handling it. If you can see here on the durian, there are these kind of lumps. There's one lump here, one big one here. I don't know if you can see it through the video. There's a separation here. These are the seed pods where the fruit is. And what I like to use to open the durian is a serrated edge vegetable knife with a serrated edge right here. This makes it easier to kind of saw your way through the durian. One thing that I do before I open the durian is put down some newspaper on the table, because once the durian is opened, anything the interior of the durian comes in contact with could get that smell on it. So you want to avoid that by putting down some newspaper in advance. So what you do is locate the seed pods that are these bulges here, and then cut down through the middle, but be careful not to go all the way through because you'll mess up the fruit that's inside. Once you get it, and what I'm using here is a serrated edge fruit knife, and then cut on the ends lengthwise like this. And you open it up like this, and it's nice and clean, and there it is. So this is what you eat, the yellow part here, and it has a seed inside of it. So what you do is you just remove the seed and just enjoy this. This is what you eat. It's really very good. That's the tangy custard flavor. The tangy custard. This is has a nice tangy custard flavor. So after you've taken out the fruit on the outer layer that was in these seed pods here, what I do is I cut the durian in sections. Because there's usually more fruit further on the inside, even though this is a small durian. And you can see that this serrated edge knife goes right through it. So there you have it. There's all the fruit on the inside. I'm going to bring it right up to the camera. So this is my technique for opening the durian, because I like to keep the fruit together. And once again, this is the part that you eat. So you can buy these in Asian food stores, Asian food markets for about $16 a piece. And you can see you don't need to use any extreme measure to open a durian. You don't need to use a machete or anything like that. A serrated edge knife does just fine. Now that you have the durian open, even with a small durian, there's probably going to be a lot of fruit left over. So another tip to deal with the smell is to get a reusable plastic container with a lid and put the extra fruit in the plastic container and then seal off the container with a lid. That way you don't have the smell in your refrigerator, because you're going to need to refrigerate the excess fruit, and then when you're done with the container you can just throw it away. That way you don't have the smell. When you're transporting the durian in a public space where there are a lot of people around, what I do is I take the durian and I put it in a plastic trash bag and I tie it off. That way the smell can't get out of the plastic bag.
Most of the available durian fruit here in the United States is frozen, so you may need to thaw the durian fruit when you bring it home. The way I like to thaw durian fruit is a similar way that many people thaw frozen turkeys, by leaving it in the refrigerator overnight. I put the durian in a tied-off plastic bag and I leave it in the refrigerator overnight to thaw. Keeping the durian cool reduces the amount of odor it produces, and most of the remaining smell is contained in the tied-off plastic bag.
20 years ago, when I first started eating these durian fruit, they tasted pretty much the way they look. It was just this fantastic yellow custard flavor. Unfortunately, the industry had to make some improvements. The problem is durians grow in countries with warm climates, so they have to ship them over here. And in order to ship them over here, they have to put them through kind of a large process. They usually pick the durians before they're ripe, and then put them through a process that kills the microorganisms that help them ripen. And then they're frozen. When they're frozen, it changes the way they taste. So what we get here in the United States is a durian that doesn't taste the same as it did in the original country, and may or may not be ripe, and it's hard to ripen because the microorganisms that help it ripen have been killed off. So sometimes you get a good durian and sometimes you don't. When I do get a durian that's not quite ripe, what I do is I make a dessert out of it. I take the durian fruit and I put it in a blender, or in this case an emulsifier. Take some plain vanilla ice cream. Put some milk in it. And just hit it a couple times with the emulsifier. And that turns it into a durian milkshake. The dairy products take care of some of the smell from the durian, and the sugar from the ice cream helps sweeten the durian in case it's not completely ripened. And the emulsifier breaks the durian up if it's still a little bit crisp, if it's not completely ripe, and you get a nice durian milkshake type of dessert. Very good.
Durian milkshake. Ingredients: durian fruit, plain vanilla ice cream, milk. Vary the ingredients to desired consistency.
Now you know how to open a durian, and some tips on how to handle the smell. And I'd like to say, in the 20 years that I've been eating durians, I have never once gotten sick from eating a durian or had to vomit after eating a durian. I took the durian challenge and I won, and now you can too.
Durian Tips Review. Tip 1. You can usually find small durian fruit in Asian food markets for about $16 a piece. Tip 2. Use a serrated edge vegetable knife to open the durian with. Tip 3. Put down newspapers in advance before opening the durian. Tip 4. When transporting, thawing, or disposing of a durian, use a tied-off plastic bag. Tip 5. If you get a durian that's not quite ripe, make a durian milkshake dessert out of it. Tip 6. To keep the durian fruit as intact as possible, first open the seed pods. Otherwise, just cut the durian in sections. Tip 7. Remove the seed. If you have comments, would like to share additional information, or disagree with something in this video, please leave a message in the comments section below. If you thought this was a good video, please like this video.